I'm sending this out to various people, including one particular person that really was upset at the last thing that was played. So yeah. And for the hell of it, I will start it from the beginning. Because I knew somebody else recently started from the beginning, so I will do so as well. Well, this is the Final Fantasy 4. I mean, this is the PlayStation 4 version, so okay.
Dracula, die now and leave this world. You'll never belong here.
The kind of point
Oh,
here is that
but this world
you've got to
invited
the
me.
end point.
Your own kind called me forth with praise and tribute.
Tribute? You're a thief. You steal men's souls,
And if
their
you
freedom.
do a phone
Freedom
version,
is
what do you
always
fucking
sacrificed
expect?
to faith, good hunter. Or are you truly here by choice?
All I'm here for is you. To hell with your heresy. You're nothing but a blight on mankind.
Ha! Mankind. A cesspit of hatred and lies. Fight for them then, and die for their sins.
Aha! Wah, 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 wah. This is supposed to be the final battle that you're reenacting. That they've given you a lot of shit to help you with. I say I'm perfect or anything, because I'm not. Ah. Yes, it kind of is. Kind of the point. This is not a real battle. And that's why she comes in. This is more cinematic than anything else. Ah, dear God. Brian. Oh my God. You were just bitching at me about God of War 3. If you can't handle this, then go back and play Castlevania. This is... Jesus Christ, dude. Yeah, there is one that you can play Alucard as. There is.
True power!
Okay, Brian, don't play Symphony of the Night. Go back and play Castlevania. Original. The original. Play it. That's what you need to do. But this battle is intentionally easy. And how many times did you tell me that you beat during it?
Not this time!
How many times did you say that this beat you? Frankly, you didn't tell me how many times. You just bitched that it kept on beating you.
Count Dracula had risen with the aid of the Dark Priest Shaft to menace humanity once again. The legendary vampire hunter, Richter Belmont, stood against him and at last brought him down. However, 4 years later, on a glaring full moon night, Richter mysteriously vanished. Maria Renard set out to find him, but knew not where to begin. It was then that fate intervened. Castlevania, the Castle of Dracula, rumored to appear once every century, suddenly materialized from the mist, as if to show them the way.
What?
Meanwhile, powerful forces struggled for the soul of a
You
man
never
named
fought him.
Alucard. He who had once fought alongside Trevor
This
Belmont
is Symphony
against
of the
his
Night.
immortal father, Count Dracula himself. To purge the world of his own cursed bloodline, Alucard had submerged his vampiric powers and fallen into what was meant to be
Okay.
eternal slumber.
What the
But
fuck
now
were you playing,
he
dude?
awakens to the
This
cackles
is
of
lit-
evil and cries of the innocent.
This is
The
literally...
eternal battle of good and evil has come full circle once more.
That I'm...
Dracula's castle
Brian,
beckons
I'm
for
not
him,
sure what you're playing then.
and no man can say who will emerge
Be-
victorious.
Because this was me starting Symphony of the Night. Literally. This is Castlevania Symphony of the Night. This is Castlevania Symphony of the Night. I don't know what you got on your phone. I think you might have gotten a parallel story. I actually think that may be what you got. Because after that, you actually end up playing as Alucard. You get that final thing where you fight. This literally is Symphony of the Night. And I think that Brian got something different when he got it on his phone. I'm actually not arguing with him about what he played I don't I don't think that he's lying or anything. No, I'm not saying that at all. I think that he got something different on his phone than the actual Castlevania Symphony of the Night. He may have actually gotten like the prequel to Symphony of the Night, where he was playing Richter. Yeah, I I'm on Twitter. One sec, I'm taking a look. Thank you. Yeah, it says the direct port of the classic console action RPG lets you jump, dash, and slash your way through Dracula's vast castle as Alucard, encountering a unique array of enemies and characters along the way. Okay, Brian, this is a serious question. After you got past the first boss, I'm not asking you what the boss is because that could be its own question. But I just had my first thing with boss. You had your first thing with the boss. Were you still Richter after that? Because after the first clash with the boss, I am now Alucard. Please don't just say yes. Unless you're saying yes to the entire thing. Because if the yes is to the entire thing, then we don't have a problem. But I didn't fight against Weirdo Bird, did I? We did not fight against the same thing. And you literally just saw what I fought against. This is Symphony of the Night. I'm sorry. I'm concerned about what you're given because I see what you're. No, this is not a bootleg. This literally is not a bootleg. I've played this on the original console. This is Symphony of the Night. This is the actual game, dude. I am not sure what the hell you were playing. And the description that you sent me actually says that you're doing it as Alucard. So, what were you doing? Because I see what you're saying. It's a direct port of direct console action RPG that lets you jump, dash, and slash away through Dracula's vast castle as Alucard while encountering a unique array of enemies. The description that you sent me actually states that your main person is as Alucard, not as Richter. Richter is just the beginning that shows the killing of Dracula. I mean, that's all there is to it. I don't know what the confusion is, Hamster. I actually don't. I'm I'm trying to actually be he he will be he will unlike you, he will well actually troll me in some ways, but not about reality. He's not going to do this to actually, yeah. One sec. Okay. Honestly, I'm looking at what he's sending me, and it is actually looking to me like his app is fucking with him. I could be wrong. What I have right here is not wrong in what I'm showing. I will say that for certain. But I'm looking at the images that he's showing me, and it's showing the freaking things with the touchpad controls on the screen, which you. And that should not be Richter. That really should not be Richter. Not from what I'm remembering. No. This is actually bothering me. Brian, if you could actually record some of your playing, and this isn't me trying to catch you on anything, because I actually believe that you are playing it like that. If I do not know on the iPhone how to tell you to record it on the iPhone or iPad, but if you can record it, yeah. You, and that was one of the first things that when you told me that you were asking, that made me go, "What the fuck?" Because I just showed this from the beginning to now, and you couldn't do that. You have a weird version on your iPad, and if you wouldn't mind doing some sort of screen record it, if you know how to, I would be really interested to see that screen record because that is not how Symphony of the Night should be. That almost feels like some fanfic. Maybe not fanfic, but maybe version of this game. Because Alucard is the main character. By the way, have you ever taken Alucard and read it backwards? It's Dracula. Alucard is the main character of this. Richter killed Dracula, and we're dealing with consequences here. But I'm not saying you're dumb. I'm actually literally not. I'm not saying you're dumb. I'm literally not saying you're lying. I'm saying that I want to see what the fuck your your iPhone version is showing you. Because I don't think you're dumb, and I don't think you're lying. I don't think either one of them. Yes, I am on Twitter. Okay, looking down. Okay, thank you. And sorry, since I am actually on the PlayStation, I can't share anything you're showing me, but I can share things later. But I can't share things right now because I do not have control over the stream like I do when I'm on the laptop. Okay? And I completely and I completely see what you're showing me, and the fact that I can hear my own words lends it authenticity. Because what that looks like is that you're in the library, and and you have Richter in the friggin' library. And it's been long enough that a few of these games do actually morph between themselves in my head, but I'm pretty goddamn sure that that scene that you were just showing me in the library right there is in this game. And the moment I get to it and am not Richter, we have proof that you have a different. Actually, in my opinion, we already have proof that you have a different Symphony of the Night than the Castlevania Symphony of the Night that is the accurate one. You killed a vampire. There's multiple vampires in the game, but that doesn't change the point that I was just making. I'm pretty sure that that is the library that is in the Symphony of the Night game that I'm playing currently. Which you should not be playing Richter at the point that you are playing right now. And that is weird. Again, I am still on Twitter. It is right next to me. But what it comes down to is that I haven't played this in long enough that this there is a possibility that I I am mixing my memories up between this and another game. But I honestly don't think I am. And I think you have a really weird version of this game. And I don't know why. And that's what it comes down to. I don't know why. So I'd like to get far enough to actually be sure that I'm right. Because there are other. Yeah, I I am certain it's in the library. So thank you for confirming what I was already certain of. My concern. What? It lets you play as Dracula as well? Okay, I'm no longer that concerned. Now I'm more concerned about what the fuck they did to a game that they claimed was Symphony of the Night. Yeesh! Because that is weird. Okay, you played this part, but did you play the part where you beat Dracula? Because that was the first boss fight. Also, how did you play as Richter? Yeah. You you did not get the authentic. So, I'm sorry, but you did not get the authentic version. I'm sorry. You got it on the iPad, and I I assumed that they just got it accurate because why would I have assumed otherwise? But I'm sorry. Fuck Apple. Fine. 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 Take whatever you want. This actually is the accurate version. Eh. At some point, we'll talk about that. Admittedly, I do hate Apple. I have a lot of animosity towards them. I have reason for it. My reason for it, maybe not my reason for it, but my dislike for Apple is similar to the Phantom Menace's dislike towards Disney. But mine is longer standing. Mine is from when the original Macintosh was made. My dislike for Apple comes from the original Macintosh. And if you want to discuss that, we can at some point. But I do have a bias against anything that Apple touches. And when people talk about, oh no, you're watching Disney, you're helping Disney. And I'm not thrilled with people saying that because, it's not their fault. They're watching it because that's what they're watching. When I see somebody using an iPhone, I'm an iPhone, iPad, anything. It's well, okay, they're doing their thing, but I have this thing in the back of my mind that's well, yeah, you're on a Apple thing, you're helping them, great, you're helping them, but I always try to keep in mind that it's not your fault. It's not you. It's that I hate Apple. It's not your fault that you like what they have. But Apple is evil, in my opinion. They are monopolistic. That is what they have been since their inception. They do not is what like Dark Souls? Castlevania? No. At least I don't think it is. But in some ways, say the original Castlevania, it's harder than Dark Souls. The original Castlevania is harder than Dark Souls in a lot of ways. but my rant that I'm not even going into detail on, Apple is worse than Disney. Look, the straight con in look. That just means that you got some role playing game. Oh my god. Did you just realize that existed? Seriously. Brian, you just realized that existed? But yes, this has role playing game elements in it. If you want to look at it that way, you have that shit there. It's a darkest dungeon, Dark Souls. Because your puppy forced you to watch. No, this is not the first game. The first game is called Castlevania. Nothing else. Nothing. Nothing else. For the love of God. This is very much not the first game. The first game was on Nintendo. Do you want me to actually do the first game? Ryan, I will restart with the very first game. I will. This is very much not the first game. This is, dear God. This is after Castlevania 3. This is at least mid-series Castlevania. When I said have fun with Castlevania platforming, I meant it. Okay. You're still on the hook for original Castlevania, by the way. I'm looking forward to that. That's going to be fun to watch, or at least fun to hear about. I seriously don't think you understand what original Nintendo games were like. I'm not sure you've played many of them. Actually, I'm pulling up on my computer the chat from this, so one sec. You played Bubble Bobble. That might actually have been interesting to watch. How far did you get in Bubble Bobble? I kind of want to know. You just found out at the age of you are a night person. Okay. Well, no, I don't have anything to really say about that. And by the way, I played Double Bubble quite a bit. I I hate to say this because I don't know for sure, but I I actually got to at least level 80 and possibly higher. On one of the Bubble Bobbles, there was a way to actually win, I think. Oh my fucking god, you didn't make it past level 1? Seriously? You're playing Bubble Bobble, and you didn't make it past level 1. That would be a Cuphead writer moment, or like I call it, the Cuphead Yurtlist. Which, by the way, I'm intending to have a- as some mm, mm, ah a- as some reward for getting past a milestone own own reward. My wife is going to play the tutorial live. She does know what it is. She knows exactly how cringe it is. And she knows that all that she would need to do is follow what it says on screen. But she has never seen anyone doing it. So it would still be legit. It's just that she knows how cringe it is that a gaming journalist couldn't manage it. But she's never seen it. And she ain't a gamer. The last game I think she played was Super Mario Brothers. No, Cuphead isn't cringe. But the gaming journo that could not get past the tutorial. Brian, have you seriously never seen the journo that couldn't get past the tutorial? It took him like 5-10 minutes to get past the tutorial. That was cringe. It's it's emblematic of why I hate gaming journos. Not all are as bad as him, but the people that excoriated him were the gamers, not other journalists. Gene, okay, I think I know who you're talking about. Gene is one that doesn't bother me. I tend to think of Sophia. For myself, Sophia Norwitz is it's the one that I would personally use. But Gene, if it's the Gene I'm thinking of, I'm good with Gene. Sophia Norwitz also is badass. Cool. Then I will give Tyro Magnus the pass as well. The thing about games journalists is that the way that things have gone, if someone tells me that they're a games journalist, they start at best 0 and honestly, -3. And they have to pull themselves out of that pit that all of the other games journalists have already pulled them down into. It can be done. But if you tell me you're a games journalist, you're already in that pit. You can pull yourself out of it. Sophia is one of them. Gene is another because I recognize him. I don't necessarily always agree with him, but I also don't always agree with Sophia either. But both of them, I tend to recognize that their willingness to do it. I don't care if it's fair, Brian. That is what has happened. I actually don't care if it's fair. You I'm happy if you want to be a games journalist. Then what you have to do is you have to actually be a games journalist. And when you do it, what things that will immediately get you out of there, Brian, is play the game. Play the full game. Show that you played the full game. And show that you know what you're doing. Actually, not even show not even show that you know what you're doing, because that actually is unfair. Show that you are playing the full game, that you're not just going, way yeah, and then doing something else. I would actually like to see you be a games journalist, Brian. It would be interesting. And you know that they gave the game early and free for a reason, so you can fully review it. They gave the game early and free so you can fully review it, and then they want to have your positive reviews. That is what people talk about with access as media. If they give it to you early, then you're worried that if you don't give it good scores, you won't get the next one early. Or if you've given a lot of them good reviews, then you can only give a certain amount of them bad reviews. But you might have a certain quota that you can do it with. But you feel that you can only do it for the right ones. And I have distrust of anyone that has early access consistently. Not anyone that ever gets early access, but if they get early access all the time, exactly. And Brian, that is good. But it's also not what they would want. They they want it, if you're someone that they would give it to early, they want you to then give er, your recommendation early. They don't want it after it's out. They want it early. And that's my problem. It's not my only problem with access media, but it is one of my large problems with access media, which is part of what happened with Cyberpunk. By the way, don't get me wrong, I love Cyberpunk, and I loved the game when it came out, but I'm also not going to be someone who's going to say there weren't problems. there weren't as many problems as people wanted to say there were, or at least there weren't as many problems that the people wanted to claim. What pissed me off as somebody who was playing on an OG PS4 was, oh, all these people on the on the OG PS4, it crashed every 2 to 3 hours. Oh, the 2 to 3 hours. No, it didn't. And then when I'd say that no, it doesn't, I literally had people telling me I was lying. And so we kind of got the opposite of the Access Media thing there. We got the we got the journos that were that probably actually some of them probably were snowed under with the original shit that they got, and they were so butthurt that they then had to virtue signal because they got snowed under and had to be upset on my fucking behalf and bite me. I hate both sides of that shit. The gaming journos first just hand waved all the issues away. And then other gaming journos then decided to virtue signal on my behalf, saying that it was so terrible because the people on the original PS4 can't play the game. And I'm like, I'm at 50 some hours. What the fuck are you talking about? And then I'd have people telling me that I somehow wasn't playing the game that I was playing the game. And honestly, I posted some of that as bait when I screenshotted my time playing, and because I was like, hey, I haven't played the game. And one of the fun things is that one of the people that thought that I was playing as bait came at me, and then we talked, and then he was like, "Oh, you're being serious?" And I was like, "Yeah, it was bait, but it was bait for the people that actually were being assholes. It was bait, but it was real at the same time. Just like when you put down bait that is a real live worm, not a fake worm. You got a real live luscious worm, and you put it down into the water. It's bait, but at the exact same time as bait, it's real. See what I'm saying? And after that, he and I have actually been pretty good friends ever since. But now that I'm done with that, I am also about to lose all this really nice armor and shit. And I'm just going to test something. I put testing in from over here. I'm about to say testing over here. And shit. No, I can still hear myself. Huh. That's not good. So, yeah. Okay.